Amazing days. I just told a story to my friend, and I thought I'd have a go now on here, see if it makes some sense to you. In terms of where did we go wrong? Right now, I'm 61, so I can remember a world where I was brought up as a little boy of Sunday school, short trousers, old money, you know, a really traditional sort of middle class village upbringing. Yeah, and it was lovely. It was lovely. And so a younger man the other day accused me of saying, "Oh, you older blokes always think, oh, it's better." It was. It was. It was safer. Fucking hell. I was a free-range child. Right? We'd go out, and we'd be back before it got dark, or when we got hungry. We'd gone all day over the woods. Right? Literally free-range. Yeah. That's how safe our parents believed our country to be, that they let me and my friends, my brothers, free on the land to do that. Yeah. And we got up to mischief, and we had fun, and we did all the things that kids did. Yeah. And we learned about how to survive and how to be human, to live in nature. So yes, young man, it was better. Yeah. So where did it go wrong? So here's the story. When Christ arrived, he took away the power that the Jews had always had to see the future. They'd always possessed this power because of the covenants that they followed from the Old Testament, from the first 5 books, from the Torah. They could see the future. Right? So when Christ arrived, they lost that power because the arrival of Christ heralded a dimensional shift, which you can explain with the engineering, but they lost that ability to see the future. And so that should have told them that Christ was the Messiah, and they should have listened to him. But because it meant that everyone was saved, they couldn't have that. As far as they were concerned, their covenant said they were the chosen people, and they insisted that they were going to be. Yeah. And so the ego somewhere arose there in that knowledge that, bloody hell, something really powerful, dimensional has occurred. We know it. We're not telling anyone. We just want to keep it a secret because we want our power back. So they crucified him, and they nailed him to a cross. And it's important that you understand the nailing of a man to a cross is what this is all about, because the motion that Da Vinci shows is the image that Da Vinci shows of the man is motion. When you look at Vitruvian Man, see motion. You just don't know what the motion is, but now we do because of the scared of geometry picture. So the Jews wanted their power back. Skip forward to the Tartarian Empire. Tartaria ran the world under Gnostic Christianity. They had free energy, they had fantastic buildings, and they lived as free people under the Greek model of freedom. Yeah, they applied the Greek model, but they realized that you couldn't have war. It often led to war. See the Athenians versus the Spartans. An internal civil war destroyed a civilization that then Rome stepped in and took over. What happened was that they worked it out. The Tartarians took the knowledge of the Athenians and built a civilization where they agreed not to go to war, that they had a planet of self-policed excellence. And they did that through Gnostic knowledge of their own kingdom of Christ within and how to manage the Christ that lives inside you, how to manage it. You have Christ within you. You have to understand that, understand what it is, how to manage it. And they were doing that, so they won. They would not bend the knee to Rome, right? They told Rome to do one, yeah? Because they were so powerful and with a military. And so Rome, now, a front for the Jews trying to get their secret back again. The covenanted Jews trying to get their secret back again so they could see the future. In the German Empire was part of Tartaria. Into this world steps the best German physics. Best physics has ever risen. Around the world, there's such knowledge is flowering. In Britain, particularly, and I'll just name, let's say Maxwell, is flowering up. And in Germany too, you have this same motion towards understanding the elastica, the motion of the planet, and the propagation of light. So Arnold Love links these two together, reference mathematical treatise on the theories of elasticity, 1890. Arnold Love. Yeah. And so he says in there very clearly that it's understood now, at least we know, that the elastic of the planet and the propagation of light are the same thing. In Germany, it's Britain, right? In Germany, Max Planck has discovered the Planck's constant, so named, and that is the piezoelectric buzz of the planet. Really fast buzz of energy. And they are determined to use that energy to get their secret back. Right? So the Jews have seen what Planck has discovered in Germany, and they want it. And they want Germany to forget it. And they're going to do everything they can to make that happen. And remember, they have this satanic power behind them. Real true, the Lord, they have the actual power to control reality, to make real what they want. Into this world now where Helmholtz closes the door. So they made Maxwell, who had already discovered what I've discovered about the mechanical interlocks and just analogies for, they made his solutions illegal through their circular reference initial brief stuff, where if you include time, they say you haven't derived time, you put it in there as an assumption at the beginning and there it is at the end. Of course it is. And that's what they're saying. And it's madness. I'm going, well, of course. So you just prove that it's true. So the more complex the model you build from the assumption that you've made, the more likely it is that the assumption you made is true. And if you can answer every fucking question, then yes, it's true. You've derived time. So they tricked Maxwell because he wasn't confident enough in what he was saying. Wasn't certain enough. Yeah, and I am. So into this world, Helmholtz steps in, closes the door, Helmholtz school. Max Planck kisses the arse of Helmholtz, will do anything for him. Yeah? And so Helmholtz tells Planck all about what he's discovered. This is why Planck's mind is blown in that period, right? When he's found this discovery. He knows he's nailed it and that they're about to get it now. They've got an energy with a unit, joule seconds, as you call it for us, but it's Newton meter second. But it's actually Newton meter second squared as a hidden variable. But there you go, that's the story. Victor Levy steps into this world, which is run by Max Planck, 1889, his dissertation. Victor Levy, 1906. So Planck is rising up through the ranks as to take over in German physics. Remember, in 1930, he has to be the man. He has been picked to rise up the ranks, so that in 1930, when they take over and smash up German physics, Planck's in charge. He's absolutely compromised, right, through what he's done, and therefore he'll do what he's told and smash up physics and pretend that he's banishing the Jews. In fact, what they're doing is seeding Jewish physics around the world so they can take over the planet, growing their man to the top. And so 1906, Victor Levy dissertation under Max Planck and Alexander von Brill. So von Brill, a fantastic, brilliant mathematician, learned lots of things, look him up. So those two powerful people, von Brill and Planck, Levy underneath them, 1906. 1908, the Tunguska event in Russia is a nuclear explosion that shows that a nuclear explosion doesn't cause firestorms on the ground. There's a disk, and trees are all flattened, so there's a whirlwind disk shoots out from the center of the explosion that you've created, and then there's a mushroom cloud above as the gravity layers work themselves out, as the twist works itself out in the cloud. So what you've done is you've taken some interlocked aggregate ether, compressed it, and exploded it. And so instead of having fragments of light, you've got fragments of darkness. Nuclear explosion. What that does is it sends you back in time. And so now the Jews have got their moment to strike. They've created the messianic moment corruptly. And the planet is now being seeded with the evolutionary ideas and genetic information encoded in the ether that's given to us about the changes that our bodies should be making. And so suddenly children are appearing everywhere, orphan trains and Cabbage Patch Kids, when we have got no idea what's going on. The Jews do, because what's happened when we've gone back to the Tartarian Empire is we've forgotten. So all of us who were Tartarians have forgotten what the fuck is this world we're in. But it's controlled by the people who control it, who know what's going on. The Jews, the Jews from the Bible, the biblical covenanted Jews, know this secret. And so they lie to us about all of it, and they bury the history. And they bury the history of Tartaria which was the empire that was about to win, was about to beat Rome at last, but they've buried it. And then they change all the history to suit this new model from this shift when we went backwards from 1908 back to 18 something whatever, yeah. And then they've reset it all from there. And the Albert Pike's stuff where he sets the seed. This is it. This is the story. So it's there from Albert Pike. Albert Pike. And so here we are at the end with a little history, a little potted history. I've got loads of that stuff, right? But linking Victor Levy directly to this idea of the Jews. And the Jews have got that they can see the future again now using technology. And the technology is Einstein's hypercube technology. By fixing the speed of light, you generate a boundary around the center for Christ at the center, and he stops swimming, and he takes the position of the cross. You've slammed him shut. Too shut, needs to be a little bit looser. And so the image you need for this, there's your sphere. Okay? At the center of the sphere, center of that sphere, there's a conic structure that holds that sphere in place. Can you see it? There's the sphere. Top to bottom, a cone. At the center of two cones standing on top of each other. At the center of that cone is a disc. See that disc? Simple. Just two cones standing there. Discs. One is on top of the other. One is on top of the other. But there's a flat disc there. On that disc, when you twist it, as a spark is created, and that spark has a geometrical response because of the pressure is the pressure of the power of the universe rotating, and it takes the structure of a man. Can you see the five-pointed star? Can you see the way I've drawn it? It's not balanced, and there's motion there, and it swims. So you take the little tab where I've written gravity, GN, and you just pull it down and then let it go. Pull it down, let it go. Put it down, let it go. Put it down, let it go. Okay, and the motion of the swim should be from the Y shape to the arms out, legs apart shape. That's the motion of the swim, of the stretch. So that the motion of each moment of beat of piezoelectric effect of the expansion of the elastic of the planet's constant that you experience, you should stretch positively. How do you do that? Because it's so fast. Well, you just maintain a positive momentum all the time, and you carry your positive, loving momentum with you. And so when the stretching comes, you're already in the position of the stretching. You've done it. Each motion that the energy arriving detects is positive, and so it responds positively with a stretching motion rather than a contracting motion. Both are stable, one's better than the other. And so now when you run the time on the hypercube technology so that the Jews can see the future, the price we pay is the pressure is increased and you can't swim. The swimmer stops swimming and he's nailed to the cross. Can you see? So it's painful. So each rotation now hurts. The reason that he does this motion is that it's just a natural momentum. You just move with this motion. You're swimming with the tide. But you can grip it and extract concrete laws from it. But Christ suffers. And so that little man on his back, on a table, must be swimming. Backstroke. Right? He's lying on the surface, on a table, and he must be allowed to move. And we allow him to move by relaxing our own living as love, because that pressure is experienced inside the myocardial fold of our hearts. A little tear appears there, and that tear is where that motion arrives. At the moment it's corrupt, because Christ is nailed to the cross. By us choosing to live as love, we let him go. He's free. Aslan is free from the table, and he can swim. And here's a little model for you. I believe the pyramids are natural, that the king's chamber will be filled with natural water, and in that bath will appear this ripple pattern that you see in the Da Vincian scalar geometry figure. And you'll know that the motion that creates it is that geometry, the sacred geometry being created on the surface of the bath of water that appears in the king's chamber, will continually move, measuring the rotation at the center of the universe. And you've arrived at the future then, when you believe that nonsense. Brilliant. As I started the video, amazing days. I keep saying it to myself, I can't believe I'm alive, I can't believe I'm playing this part in this future, in this world, which I'm building. And me and the pirates and all of us around the planet are doing this work. But I am so much a central part of it. I'm in the fucking Bible. Let me show you. Let me show you where you are. Welcome home. God loves you. You fools.